The I-5 Permit Test, Part 1. Sunnyvale to a Safari. Second road trip, different coast, different weather, different threats. This one was older, a few summers back. Sunnyvale to Vancouver, British Columbia. Up Interstate 5 most of the way, because my dad considers a long straight highway a kind of vacation. The permit test was still ahead of me. My sister was still 12 in spirit, slightly younger in body. My dad was still the rule dispenser, and I had another 30-something DMV rules to collect on the way. The plan: 4 days up, 3 days back. Stops at Shasta, a drive-through safari in Oregon, Portland, Seattle, and Vancouver, 1,100 miles one way. My sister had packed 7 paperbacks and 1 flashlight, which was the exact ratio I would have predicted. This is Part 1, Sunnyvale, I-5, Shasta, and a drive-through safari in Oregon. 6 a.m. Sunnyvale. My dad walks around the car, checks each tire by eye, and then says the same thing he always says when we get in. Belts. In California, every occupant needs a seatbelt. Driver, front passenger, back seat. No exceptions. Ticket goes to the driver if anyone under 16 isn't buckled. My sister is in a booster. She is indignant about the booster. But children under 8, OR under 4 feet 9 inches tall, have to ride in a child restraint in the back seat. The booster is not optional. The booster is the law. My dad pulls a card out of his wallet and tucks it in the visor. Proof of insurance. California requires you to carry proof of financial responsibility anytime you're behind the wheel. Minimums are $15,000, $30,000, and $5,000. $15,000 for injury to one person, $30,000 total per accident, $5,000 for property damage. You get pulled over with no proof, the ticket is automatic. We merge onto I-5. Within 10 minutes, we are surrounded by semis, big ones, the kind that make your rental SUV feel like a shopping cart. My dad moves 1 lane left and gives the truck ahead of us an enormous amount of space. Large trucks have enormous blind spots. The no zones, directly behind the trailer. In front of the cab, about 20 feet. And along both sides, especially the right. Rule of thumb: if you can't see the truck driver's mirrors, the truck driver can't see you. Miles of Central Valley. The painted line in the middle is a double yellow. 2 solid stripes. Double yellow means no passing, either direction. You do not cross it. The only exception, if you're making a legal left turn into a driveway or side road. The double yellow eventually turns into 1 solid, 1 broken. Dad explains without being asked. If the broken line is on your side, you can pass, when it's safe, when there's no oncoming traffic. If the solid line is on your side, you cannot. 5 hours in, Mount Shasta appears. Enormous, white, a volcano pretending to be a mountain. My sister looks up from her book for the first time since Stockton. There are people who think Shasta has a secret civilization inside it. The Lemurians, advanced, golden-robed, 7 feet tall, they live in tunnels. My dad: "Where'd you read that?" A paperback with a drawing of a glowing triangle on the cover. That's how you know it's reliable. I ask if she actually believes this. I believe it enough to write it down, which is the standard for most conspiracy theories, historically. We stop at a rest area near the town of Mount Shasta. Dad walks the car twice, stretches his back, and reminds us, on a long drive you should pull off roughly every 2 hours or every 100 miles to rest, rehydrate, and reset your eyes. Fatigue sneaks up. You don't notice until you're already tired, which is, by definition, too late. A sign: chain control ahead. Even in summer, this road has chain rules half the year. California chain controls come in 3 levels. R1, chains required on any vehicle that isn't 4WD with snow tires. R2, chains required on all vehicles except 4WD with snow tires on all 4 wheels. R3, chains required on every vehicle. No exceptions. Ignore a chain requirement, you get turned around. Or worse, stuck sideways on a mountain, which is how people end up on the news. The road drops. A long downgrade. My dad takes his foot off the gas and shifts down a gear. Long downgrades kill brakes. The rule: shift into a lower gear before you start down. Use engine braking, not the foot brake. Riding the brakes overheats them, and overheated brakes stop working at exactly the moment you need them most. We cross into Oregon. Tiny town, main street, single intersection. The light is flashing yellow. A flashing yellow light means caution. Slow down. Check both ways. Proceed when safe. You don't have to stop. You just can't go barreling through like it's green. 2 blocks later, another intersection. Flashing red. A flashing red light is a stop sign. Full stop. Then proceed when safe. Same rule as a 4-way stop if everyone's got red. A railroad crossing. Red lights start flashing. Gate arms come down. Dad stops. Way back. Not at the gate, not next to the gate. 15 feet before the nearest rail. Minimum. Flashing red at a railroad crossing means stop. Do not go around the gate. Do not try to beat the train. A train traveling 55 mph needs a mile to stop. You are not going to win that one. My sister, watching the train roll by. Statistically, a train hits a car or person in the United States every 3 hours. Dad, please don't share that with the driver. You asked to be a better driver. I didn't ask for that. Back on I-5. Orange cones. A construction zone. Sign, 45 when workers are present. Dad drops to 45 without comment. In construction zones, you obey the posted reduced limit. Fines are doubled, and if a flagger is on the road, the flagger's direction overrides the traffic signals. You obey the person with the sign, not the sign they're next to. Winston, Oregon. Wildlife safari. It is exactly what it sounds like. A drive-through park where animals are free and visitors are on wheels. At the gate, a sign the staff clearly meant, stay in vehicle. Do not honk. Do not open windows. Do not honk is, incidentally, a California rule too. Your horn is for warning of danger, not for frustration, not for hello. Honking at a driver who cut you off is technically illegal, though everyone does it, including my dad on the 101. A giraffe leans down into the windshield frame. My sister is silent for the first time in 3 days. This is the single most useful animal I have ever encountered. A zebra keeps pace with us for a few car lengths. My sister recovers her speaking voice. I am going to be a zoologist. I am going to live in a compound. I am going to keep a zebra. My dad. That's 3 different careers and also a felony. Details. A bison stands in the road. Full grown, 1,000 pounds. My dad stops, dead. The rule for animals on the road, anywhere, not just safaris, is slow down. Do not swerve into oncoming traffic to avoid them. A deer-sized animal you brake hard for straight ahead. A moose or bison-sized animal, you stop completely and wait. Swerving causes more fatal crashes than the collision itself. My sister, whispering, if one of us dies here, I want the bison to be named in the police report. We leave the safari at dusk. The road out of Winston turns to gravel for about a mile. Dad slows. Unpaved surfaces have less traction. On gravel, dirt, or sand, reduce your speed and increase your following distance. Simple as that. Day 1 done. California behind us. Oregon ahead. 16 rules. 17 if you count the rest stop habit. In the pocket. My sister is asleep with a paperback open on her chest. The cover is a glowing triangle. Somewhere inside Mount Shasta, apparently, 7-foot Lemurians are going about their evening. Somewhere in Winston, Oregon, the bison has gone back to standing in the exact same spot. And somewhere ahead of us, Portland is getting ready to rain on us for 4 consecutive days. I am ready for all of it. End of part 1.